What's up, YouTube? Just kidding, hey besties. So today I was supposed to make a vlog about a date vlog, like a date with one of my friends. Just chilling, going on and trying that nasty meal thingy, yeah, at KFC. We just wanted to try that, and be girls. But yeah. Anyway, I also remember the conversation dated way back at the beginning of Milkshake, whereby my classmates were speaking about sin, and I was like, I wanted to be part of the conversation, but I don't like being part of conversations when I feel like I'm not strong. I haven't done my research, or I'm just not strong. Actually, I feel like I'm not strong spiritually. I don't like that. And at the beginning of Milkshake, I was so drained, like I was drained, and we were just starting. I was drained. I was tired. I was I was just a lot of things, and I was just not okay. So I didn't want to be part of the conversation. So I just sat down and listened. Right. So they were basically talking about sin and how LGBTQ people shouldn't be preaching or something like that, or having faith in God. I don't remember the exact topic, but I know they were talking about LGBTQ people and them sinning because they're going against what God designed. I don't know, something like that. So that same day, because my friend was not okay, he was not okay. He was not okay. And the whole way going home, he kept preaching to me, and I'm like, I'm not okay, but I'm gonna listen because I love it when people feel comfortable enough to talk to God about me. I don't know. I don't know. It just hits differently. Like, yes, I wanna hear about your problems, but you know, I wanna hear a believer. I wanna hear an opinion from a believer. Like, reignite a fire within me. Yes, but yes. Okay, so that day I went home, and I was like, hey, there were just a lot of opinions that weren't really phasing me, but I just like wanted clarity. I just wanted clarity. Yeah, let me just put it like that. I just wanted clarity on certain things that were said. So I googled. Actually, no, I didn't Google. I asked ChatGPT what is sin, right? And I'm gonna refer to it as he. He said, it's anything that goes against God's will, right? Keku re-established that boundary, and then he described missing the mark as a sin. Yes, it described missing the mark as a sin. And then, wait, let me check. Oh, and then breaking God's commands. Yeah, I wrote this down. So I wrote this down. And breaking God's commands, and then for in First John 3 verse 4, it says sin is lawlessness, right? And then knowing the right thing but not doing it. That is a sin. That is a sin, macabre. I'm talking to myself now because, hey, hey, but yeah, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna pray about it. If I'm a sinner, I'm not proud. Please. And then in James 4 verse 17, chapter 4 verse 17, it says, if you know the good you should do and don't do it, it is a sin. Yo, hey. Okay, so and then it says, going your own way instead of God's. For in Isaiah 53 verse 6, we have all turned to our own way. It says that, right? And then I also remember the verse that's in Jeremiah 29 verse 11, where it says, for I know the plans that I have for you, plans to give you a hope and a future and not to harm you. I don't know if I quoted it correctly, but it's something in the lines of that. And oh, that one was also like, to me, it's like, maybe I shouldn't, I don't know, I always had this desire. Okay, I feel like I'm going off track with the topic, but yeah, I always had this desire of being, I don't know, having schedules, like planned, I just wanted to be that. I have never, planned ahead in my life until this year. You know, I've never, I've never wanted that for myself. I don't go with the flow like a dead fish, but I, I just don't like. I don't know. I don't like schedules. Yeah, I don't know how to put it. I don't like that, because what if God's plan is not for me to make it to school at that certain time? You see? So yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah. Also, this year was like a really bad year for me. Maybe it's because I wanted it to be my way instead of God's way. You know, I wasn't including Him in my plans because those were my plans, and I wanted them to be according to my will and not His. You know, I feel like it's hard for me to like accept that, but the fact that I say it out like doesn't even, it's healing. Okay. And then the hard motive issue, it says even wrong intentions can be sinful. In simple terms, sin, anything that separates us from God's way, God's love, and God's character, right? And it says, oh, I also asked and wrote down, does being part of the LGBTQ community deprive someone from having faith in God? Which is a clear no, because I don't believe that it's something that should deprive us from having a relationship with God, you know? Yeah, so it says absolutely not. There's nothing in the Bible that says an LGBTQ person cannot pray, cannot seek God, cannot worship, cannot believe, cannot be loved by God. Because I don't know, a Bible that says, or something there. No, actually, something that God kept constant in from Genesis to Revelation is that He wants a relationship with all of us, right? He wants us to come to Him, for He will knock, and it is up to us to answer. For God is a gentleman. He will not just barge into your house and have faith in me, have faith in me. No, that is a personal decision, a journey you have to walk by yourself, for yourself. I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but yes. Okay, and then it says in Romans 12, chapter 12, verse 13, everyone who calls the name of the Lord will be saved. Everyone includes the LGBTQ community. Heard? Yes. And then I also asked if is as being LGBTQ a sin, right? And then, because I was also reminded of when they were talking, they stated a Bible verse. I don't know, but it was something along the lines of people who are of the same gender should not be having a relationship or being intimate. I don't know. It was quoted in the Bible. I don't know. I don't remember the exact verse actually. I didn't even write it down. Yeah, I didn't even write it down, unfortunately. But it was something along the lines of that. And I don't wanna say something wrong. And I believe that this is my opinion, and I would like to be respected for it. For I do not believe that being LGBTQ is a sin. For it does not deprive us from having a relationship with God. Right? Okay. So it says affirming Christian views. They view that LGBTQ identity is not a sin. The same-sex attraction is not a sin. Loving relationships can be holy. God created people diverse, right? And then traditional Christian view, identity itself is not a sin. Attraction itself is not a sin. Some believe same-sex sexual behavior is outside God's design, but they still believe LGBTQ people are fully loved. I feel like I agree with that. Like the fact that some people believe that it is a sin to have sexual behavior outside of God's design, with people of the same gender, but they do still need love. Yes, and God's desire desires relationship with them. Faith, salvation, grace, and prayer are open to all, which is true, which is very true. Being part of the LGBT community does not disqualify you from having a relationship with God. Mm. Oh, and then they were also speaking about the fact that kissing is a sin, right? And like, I don't know, dating is a sin. I don't know if it was. I didn't really look into that. Like, I just remembered it now. They also like spoke about the dating and the kissing, but I focused on LGBTQ and the kissing part because they were. Eh, I won't say much. I won't say much, but yeah, they were talking about that. It was deep for them. It was, I don't know, it was very deep. So anyway, they said kissing itself is not called a sin anyway in the Bible. Whether kissing becomes sinful depends on the intention and the thoughts behind it. Whether it leads you into action you personally believe are wrong, like sex. Sex before marriage, I believe, is very wrong. But we live in a very cool world where people can be manipulated into having sex before marriage, which is something that they do not believe in, where people get raped, just a lot of stuff, which will come back to the thing of Yamaji virginity and what. Oh my god, I don't want to talk about that now because that's a topic that I love actually. But anyway, for example, a loving, respectful kiss is not a sin. A kiss driven by lust that pulls you into behavior you believe is wrong could be sinful. The Bible focuses more on the heart motive than the physical acts. Anyway, I feel like I love that line. Yeah, the picture that the Bible focuses more on the heart motive than the physical act, which is something that God wants from us. God wants our hearts. He wants us to believe. He wants us to have faith in Him. Okay, and then I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna go into the fact that what is this called again? Oh, I forgot my virginity. Yes. The thing is, I'm gonna mazulang shy. Yeah, because I'm a Venda girl, but a Venda girl that speaks Zulu. So yeah, the thing that the purity culture, right? The fact that it is not okay to determine a girl's value depending on the fact that they are still virgins, right? Because like I said, we live in a very cool world with girls getting raped almost, I don't know, every day, every second, every hour, and yeah, it's just a lot. And the fact that when people go to Mhlanga, oh my god, I'm so sorry for speaking Zulu, but yes, when people go to Mhlanga and all those things, right, with boobs all out and dancing, and there'll be men there watching, ready to pick their wives. That's a very lustful activity. I don't know if I'm reading it correctly, but it's a very lustful activity. This is why when I have I want it to be a topic for another day. But yes, so I don't know. Oh my god, for the longest time, I personally still do. Like, in a way, I feel like maybe when my frontal lobe develops and everything, I don't know if a frontal lobe can develop by the time I'm 21, but my frontal lobe can develop by the time I'm 21. I don't know, but yeah, like I've always wanted umemulo, like not because of the fact that's to prove that this is particularly. No, I wanted to umemulo because I just wanted the money, because I'm just like I just wanted the money and the car and I don't know, but yeah, this is the greed they talk about in the Bible, but yeah, I just wanted that, mostly. not not being watched by lustful men ready to pick a wife. No, but yeah, purity culture is toxic. It is toxic. That is something I will totally agree to. It is very toxic. So yeah. But the main focus today was to talk about the Bible and sin. And if anyone has like a different opinion on everything that I've said today, according to about the LGBTQ community and about kissing being a sin, and just about anything that is considered a sin by other people that may not have been mentioned clearly in the Bible. Let me put it like that. I would like to not be fought for my own opinion. I would like my opinion to be respected, and anyone else's opinion to be shared respectfully. You know. But yes. Anyway, see you in the next video. Possibly a vlog with not one of my friends, with like a few of my friends. We're going out. We're going out. We're outside. Because I don't know if I'm gonna go out with my other friend again, because they have to go. Yes. But yeah. But then, bye bye. See you in my next video.